Peace. Han took a deep breath. After all that fuss, he'd gone and left his calf in the front room. He sat on the bed, adjusting Ben in his arms. No way he was going back out there. Not even for calf. And anyway, the bed was so comfortable. Leia had been up late the night before, going over some boring statistical analysis of crop production on Yavin 4, and Han had volunteered to keep Ben out of her hair, partly just to preempt any kind of, force forbid, conversation about agriculture. He'd flipped on a holo show, some cartoon they had now called Moray and Foz, and the next thing he knew, it was 4:30, and the flickering Chancellor was Mon Mothmaying all over his living room. He could probably catch a tiny snooze before he had to get ready, he thought, lying back. Little Ben looked up groggily, those dark eyes settling on Han, studying him. Han had no idea how a 2-year-old could have such ancient eyes. It was as if Ben had been waiting around for a millennium to show up at just this moment in history. Slowly, Ben Solo's eyes drifted closed as his chin settled on Han's shoulder. Han shook his head, smiling. Here he was thinking about fates and destinies. He was starting to sound like Luke. The thought simultaneously made him smile and unsettled him. And it was that muddle of feelings that drifted along with him as sleep crept up without warning once again and dissolved the bedroom, the fussing on the other side of the wall, the chirps of morning birds outside, the half-light of a new day, all into a pleasant haze. Right up until a frantic knocking shoved Han rudely back into the world of awake.
What?
He slid Ben carefully off him and stood, heart pounding. The balcony. It was coming from the door to the balcony. Keeping out of sight of the tall windows, Han picked up Ben and laid him ever so gently on the carpeted floor, on the far side of the room from the knocking. Then he crept to the bedside table, slid open the drawer, and retrieved his blaster. Disengaged the safety, made his way to the door. In the corner now, one hand on the doorknob, the other on the trigger, he glanced at Ben, still asleep. Everything in Han wanted to just kick through the nearest window and let loose a barrage of blaster fire. But that wasn't the way. And if this was any threat at all, such recklessness would probably get himself and Ben killed. Slowly, smoothly, he craned his neck to look at the small data screen showing the balcony security feed. All the tightened muscles in his body eased at the same time. As he threw open the door, a huge smile breaking out across his face. There in the purple haze of morning stood Lando Calrissian, decked out as always in an impeccable dress shirt, half cape, shined boots, and a perfectly trimmed goatee.
If it isn't...
Han started, but he let his voice trail off. One thing that was different about Lando, that wide scoundrel grin, was not stretching across his face. In fact, he looked downright pissed.
What's the matter, old buddy? And why are you...
Han didn't finish, because now Lando was reaching back, winding up, fist tight, and then swinging forward with what looked like all his strength. And then, sure enough, fist met face, and Han flew backward with a shocked grunt, thinking as the world flushed to darkness.
I should have probably seen that coming.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.